Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Dissecting the Macabre video. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite found footage horror film ever, The Blair Witch Project. In case for some reason you don't know about the Blair Witch Project, the Blair Witch Project follows 3 film students who vanish after traveling into a Maryland forest to film a documentary on the local Blair Witch legend, leaving only their footage behind. Before I get into anything else, I want to say a quick thank you to my creepy patron peeps for your support of my channel. It really means so much to me. Thank you. If you would like to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description box, and at least for now, there will be a clickable link at the end of the video. Come February 20th, there probably won't be there anymore. Okay, so some notes on the production of the Blair Witch Project. The writer and director duo, Daniel Myrick, hopefully I said that right, you would have seen it pop up earlier, and Eduardo Sanchez, at the time were film student grads. Actually, I saw, which I didn't know this before, actually, they went to UCF. Which is not too far from where I am, which is pretty awesome. So there's one good thing that's come out of Florida. They got the idea for the Blair Witch Project from watching documentaries on paranormal phenomena, and they thought it seemed way scarier than traditional horror, so that's in part what inspired them to make the Blair Witch Project. The movie was filmed in Seneca Creek State Park and real life Burkittsville, and to kind of keep up the realism of the movie, some of the townspeople that are interviewed in the beginning of the film are actual townspeople of Burkittsville. Some of them are not, but some of them were, which is really interesting. And scenes were pretty much completely improvised. The cast were given a tutorial on how to work the cameras and things like that, and then they had like a GPS or something, and they were pretty much just walking around the woods, and they had spots they had to hit from their GPS, and then they would have notes or kind of like light clues or cues as to like what the feeling of the scene was supposed to be, and generally like where they were in the movie and what was going on, but they didn't have any lines or anything like that. And I don't know how true this is, but I thought I read somewhere that throughout the shoot, the cast were given less and less to eat for lunch to kind of get them in that mood of feeling like starved and get them even crankier for the scenes where they had to be upset with each other. I don't know how true that is though. As far as themes and analysis goes, I've actually never really thought of this movie in that way. I don't think I've ever analyzed this film, at least as far as like themes and motifs go. I don't know. I'm sure somebody out there has, but I don't know. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. I guess like if you wanted to say something, you could say something about like fear of the unknown and folklore, considering that the Blair Witch is never shown in the movie. Yeah, I don't know if anyone has any thoughts on that. Please share them in the comments section. I'd love to hear them. Now on to reception and influence. I feel like the production and the reception and like legacy parts are the biggest parts when you're talking about the Blair Witch Project. Pretty much it was a sleeper hit upon its release. Critical reception was mostly positive. Most criticism came from kind of like the monotony of watching these kids walk around the woods with the handheld cameras, and kind of bouncing around and things like that. But other than that, it was pretty positive. It was declared a milestone in found footage style of filming at the time, although it wasn't the first. The first one is Cannibal Holocaust, right? Pretty sure it was. I don't know if there was one before that. Yeah. So it wasn't the first, but it was definitely like a huge milestone in the found footage style. And probably the biggest influence of this movie is its simple narrative and its low budget production. Definitely something that has become a trend for found footage horror. And you know, I mean, they picked up on something that was like, it could be a gold mine when done right. So it pretty much told filmmakers or any amateur filmmakers that you can, you know, you don't need a huge fancy camera to make a movie. Like, if you can get your hands on one halfway decent digital camera and you have a simple and effective story, you can make a really scary and successful movie. Blair Witch Project does have 2 sequels. Sorry, my voice is really going now. One being the Book of Shadows, which is awful. Well, I think it's awful. And the latest, which is just called Blair Witch, which I also didn't like. If I can, did I review it? If I did, I'll link it. I can't remember. I also read that there's a rumor that a TV show might be in the works. Eduardo Sanchez hinted at this in an interview in October of this past year, 2017. I don't know how true that is. We'll see. Lionsgate owns the rights to it right now. I don't know about that though. I don't know if I'd like that. So you can watch the Blair Witch Project on Amazon. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description box if you want to use that to watch it. Over on my blog, you will find a companion post to this video. I actually talked about Blair Witch Project in one of my papers, one of my end of the course papers for my film studies degree. And I know at least some of you have expressed interest in wanting to read those. So I'm not gonna post the whole paper because it doesn't all have to do with the Blair Witch Project, but I'm gonna post an excerpt from where I was talking about the Blair Witch Project. And I was mostly talking about camera technique and stuff. Talk about how the found footage genre has taken the techniques of the realist film theory and it applies it to supernatural and unrealistic things, but overall gives the film a sense of realism. Does that make sense? I'm delirious. It'll make sense over in the post. Links in the description. So I'm sure most of you have seen the Blair Witch Project. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about it. And let me know what you think about the sequels also in the comment section. You can find me at all the normal social media places. The links for those will be in the description box. You can also find me on my blog at nightmaremaven.com as a contributing writer on morbidlybeautiful.com and on patreon.com/nightmaremaven if you want to check that out and support the channel. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a creepy peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!